we doing? We're going to be reading today a little bit from Brave. I'm going to read the preface to you, which I wrote. Brave is an anthology. 8 women wrote their stories. The preface was an attempt to tie it all together. So here we go. Almost exactly a year ago, I joined this gorgeous women's reading group. I later labeled it Sacred Circle in my Google Calendar, as I believe everything great in life needs an excellent title. We continue to meet online, weekdays at 8:15 a.m., and we read. We actually read with each other for 45 minutes. Each of us reads a paragraph as we go around the Zoom room. We are Canadians, Minnesotans, and Floridians. I rarely miss a call because it literally starts my day with peaceful joy. Honestly, 25% of this joy comes from the act of steady reading, slow activity that calms my nervous system. The other 75%, my reading comrades genuinely vibe higher than most people I might encounter for the rest of my day. We all show up with varying emotions day to day, and we take turns lifting each other up. We are special together, and so much more than reading buddies. After we finished Michael Singer's Untethered Soul, we planned to gather in person for a week at his Temple of the Universe in Gainesville, Florida. While there, enjoying a midlife sleepover at a lake house rental, we participated in meditations, yoga, and chanting. We also heard Mickey speak on the stages of growth. Afterwards, he graciously signed all of our books and we took a photo together. Last September, we were knee-deep in The Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda, a 580-page small print memoir, which created beautiful waves of awe and peace for me. In a conversation, one of our members shared the thrilling news of participating in an anthology, which later became a bestseller. My head tilted to the left and I had this little thought, we could do that. In the reading group, we discussed doing an anthology together. A couple of us have been published before. I self-published a memoir, Making Space for Me, in 2018. I understood the process from conception to publication. I had worked for the Florida Writers Association as their RPLA writing competitions submission coordinator. They limit admissions to 500 entries annually, from poetry to novels. I had over 50 columns in my spreadsheet with 500 plus rows. We could do that. The group responded with an enthusiastic yes. It happened quickly and smoothly. I asked some friends to join us and put feelers out in our bigger friend chat group. We gathered a few more women. I know these women. We have shared gratitudes, heartaches, goals, and dreams. More than one of them shared the dream of publishing their stories and write a book of their own. What a perfect stepping stone for those who hadn't written an article or an essay in years. They all agreed to write 4,000-word chapters instead of starting with their own 60,000-word books. I made a spreadsheet, and voila. Within weeks, I had a vivid dream with these words, which I felt compelled at the time to jot down. It starts with a dream. I want to tell my story. This incredible story of mine needs to be shared. I want to publish my book. It starts with a dream, but then we walk through fire. We suffer to create something of value. We are driven to go deep. When one human speaks, God listens. When they speak, stars shine. It is a crime to prevent them. It doesn't rhyme, but it was lucid, intense, and meaningful, even at 2 a.m. Writing these stories compels us to be vulnerable, but that word is not sufficient. I watched some of these women break in half, their emotional goo pouring out. They felt pain they'd held down for a very long time. In order to write their drafts, they had to expose and witness that pain, watch it boil, feel the fire, and let it cool. In our past, when something hard happened, we resisted and pushed it all down. For this book, we had to learn to be okay with these stories of hurt, to relax, release, and because we're overachievers, clearly reframe it for our readers. We hit the ugly phase. Anne Lamott calls it the vomit stage in her book, Bird by Bird. This term works because when we are getting sick, we don't usually care about how we look or being pleasing to others. Art goes through these ugly stages before it becomes beautiful. They trusted themselves to say it and trusted me not just to read it, but pick it apart. Okay, so that's all I'm going to read for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to read the rest of Brave, Paths to Gratitude, you can go on my website, tamilowe.com. tamilowe.com. Thanks. Bye.